Hello and good evening, everybody. Here we are again.
I'm in charge of the gong.
You are. Here we are again. It's always such a pleasure.
You may notice we've switched sides.
I hope it doesn't cause any problems for
This
anyone.
is because AJ's going to be doing some art tonight, which is really exciting.
Yes, I am. I'm going to teach everybody a really, really simple but effective way to decorate their notebooks. And even if you've never picked up a pen before, that's highly unlikely. But if you haven't drawn in a very long time, I'm talking about since school, don't be afraid, okay? You're going to be able to do this. It's incredibly simple and it has beautiful results. It's a good tip. So I'll be showing you that later. A really nice stream ahead of us this week.
What are you drinking?
Red wine. What are you drinking?
Ribena.
Not too different.
They're both red.
Mm-hmm. That is where the similarities end. No, it's been quite a heavy week, hasn't it? There's been a lot to process this week.
Yes, I think it's important to just touch on that subject.
Yeah.
Before we start.
Yeah.
We don't normally get involved in politics.
No.
We like to give people a chance to just escape the world. But I think it is important just to touch on that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have always believed in the foundational principle of escapism as being important and crucial to people's mental well-being, their physical well-being, their social well-being. And part of what we do at GameTea is that we try to enable people's narratives, people's storytelling and people's escapism. So what this hour is going to be is just a completely safe space where we can just forget our worries. We all know what's going on in the world and we all can empathise with the quite terrible situation. But I think it's important just to give ourselves a little bit of a permission just to unwind for an hour.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is a place where you can allow yourself to do that. And if you find comfort and joy in our company, in both senses of the word, you are more than welcome here, always. You know that.
And we stand with the Ukraine.
Yes.
Goes without saying.
Never submit. So, join us for an hour and let's focus on some fun escapism.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
Guys, you need to bring the mic closer to you. Maybe the other side of the gong, 'cause apparently it's a bit quiet tonight.
Okay.
How's that? How's that?
That's fine.
How's that?
Quite unusual.
How's that?
How's that?
Let us know in chat.
Much better.
Okay, fantastic.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a packed stream ahead of us tonight. We've got some new things to feature this evening. We've got some beautiful products. I'm going to teach the audience how to draw something very, very cool, actually. Some beautiful examples of what you can do here. I'm going to teach you how to decorate your GameTea notebooks. Super simple, so
any
effective.
notebook.
Any notebook. We are going to give away a prize. Of course. There is a puzzle. It's a hard one.
I did see it earlier, and it was just like,
We
so
are-
good luck with that.
We're playing for 10 big ones. That's 10 English pounds. We'll also be revealing a brand new t-shirt that I've been working on, and everybody's going to have the opportunity to vote on which colour
Really
we
cool.
actually end up producing. So really excited for that one. So we're going to see how that t-shirt makes its way to the website from the base artwork and goes through the screen printing process, and people have 2 colour options, and we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see which one they prefer.
I know which one I prefer, so I'm secretly
Yeah.
hoping they pick that.
I do
But we'll
have a
see. It's down to
favourite.
them.
It
Let's just let
is.
them choose.
Okay. Now, have you ever been in a conversation and you have said the following words, something like, "Oh, I'm doing really well at Mario Kart and I've had a string of wins, touch wood."
Oh, yeah. All the time.
So, touch wood, of course, is a very, very familiar British expression.
Yeah.
But have you ever considered where it came from? What the origin of this expression is?
No. I mean, a lot of things we say in England come from Shakespeare.
They have an ancient origin, a lot of our
But I
sayings.
don't think that saying is a Shakespearean one.
No. Okay, so when you look at the etymology of the phrase touch wood, what you're going back to is the deep pagan roots of England. And we're talking about a time, many thousands of years ago, where trees were venerated, particularly oak trees, were venerated by the Druids.
Yeah.
And this, in fact, this tree worship is common to many, many cultures of prehistory. So you have, the Romans and their mulberry bushes that were splashed with the blood of lovers and bore red fruit forever. And you have the Grecians with their crowns of laurels, and even, in Christianity, the willow that weeps always as an act of repentance. So it's a real common anthropological feature, the worship of trees. So when you say touch wood to bring yourself luck, what you are in effect doing is summoning or evoking a tree spirit.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is
I didn't know
really,
that.
really cool.
That's really cool.
So if you take a leap back to Druidic times, it was considered lucky, auspicious, really prevented misfortune if you entered a grove of trees to announce yourself by knocking on the wood. You've heard that expression as well, knock on wood. Touch wood. You would let the tree spirit know that you were passing through, and hopefully they would grant you safe passage through the deep, untenanted forests of prehistoric England. So that is the origin of the word,
I love that.
of the words touch wood.
That's brilliant.
And hopefully it does grant you some degree of protection against misfortune. But this brings me to my first question, actually, for you and for chat. So, chat, I can see you. I have got a question, and that is, do you have any superstitions of your own?
I mean, I have so many. Let me think.
I can think of one. You always do.
I know I never would walk under a ladder.
That's a common one and probably very sensible.
I would never cross somebody else on the stairs.
No.
In a house. I mean, obviously when you're out in public, you can't really avoid it.
You always salute magpies.
Oh, yes, I do.
Always salute magpies.
Always salute magpies.
Yeah. Now,
I don't really know why I even do these things, but it's just a thing that stayed with me.
It's a superstition.
I think even from school days, like you wouldn't walk on 3 drains. You could only walk on 2.
Walking on cracks is a very popular one, actually. Yeah.
So you could only walk on even drains. If you walked on an odd drain, it would be bad luck.
Yeah. Now, if you are from a particular place in the world, if you're not from Britain, do let us know any superstitions that is common in your country as well. Rosia says, "Don't sleep next to a mirror."
Ooh.
That's an interesting one. And Dutch Barracuda says, "Always ask for consent before touching up an ent." Thank you.
Touching up an end?
Yes.
What's an end?
You know, Lord of the Rings.
Ah.
Tolkien's tree people.
Yeah.
Good advice. Kiltia tugs my forelock to a lone magpie. Yeah. Salute again. Yeah. I've certainly got one. It's black cats. I always consider it lucky when a black cat crosses
lucky.
your path. That's not universal, actually.
No, some people think it's bad luck. I always say good luck.
Yeah, I think in America and Europe, actually parts of Europe, it's considered an omen of death, in fact, when the cat crosses your path. But not here. We love black cats. And in fact, there is another group of people that also love black cats, sailors. Yeah, they absolutely love them. Because, of course, cats aboard a ship are considered fortunate, but the luckiest cat of all to bring aboard a ship is a black cat. So they're also beloved by sailors. Yeah.
I take it that's because they kill rats and mice
maybe.
aboard.
Maybe they're better kind of concealed in the hold, perhaps. And in Japan, seeing a black cat is an omen of good fortune in love. So that's exactly what you want to see before going on a little date or such. Chat, have you got any superstitions? Yeah, okay. Crumpet says there's a London one I remember that locals had. Never go running in a fog-driven night. Again, that sounds really sensible for London.
That's quite sensible, yeah.
I wonder how ancient the origin of that sort of thing is, though. Because for a long time it was considered unlucky to open the window on a foggy day or night, particularly if you had an infant. It was thought to give the infant a disease, tuberculosis, consumption. They were really, really funny about vapours and miasma as well, even back further in history. Rosie says, put a cup of water beneath the bed. I've heard it's a Mexican thing, but I'm from California. To bring yourself luck? To avert misfortune? Roxy, do you have any superstitions?
There's the don't do any washing on New Year's Day.
Yes. Yeah.
Wash someone out of your family. Which is terrifying.
There's quite a few.
Yeah, that's one that we do.
Yeah, we do. And new shoes on the table. That's very relevant for you because you're always buying new shoes. Another one, of course, very, very widely held in Britain and America, Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Well, I purposely pushed my house move back to the Monday. Do you remember? We were supposed to complete on the Friday the 13th, and I said, no, we're not starting off a new house on that footing. So I actually completed on the Monday.
Do you know, it's really funny because before these two ideas were connected, the idea of Friday and the 13th being unlucky, Friday was considered unlucky and the number 13 was considered unlucky. And these two concepts, they really only became unified in Victorian times, and this idea of Friday the 13th became enmeshed. But oftentimes you hear stories of maidservants refusing to start positions on a Friday. They would rather give it up than start anything on a Friday. Yeah. Beginning anything on a Friday was considered extremely bad luck. Fishermen wouldn't sail, ships would not depart. And that is because Friday was considered an unlucky day, simply because of its association with the Catholic Day of Repentance. So Friday was the day of punishment and yeah, not good thing. It's also got a Christian association as well.
13 can obviously be very lucky for people as well.
Yeah.
13 lucky for some.
I don't know.
So
I would never stay
for
on the
me,
13th floor of a hotel or anything like that.
No.
And 13, of course, that's to do with the Last Supper. So that's where that comes from. So they're both, in fact, biblical.
Right.
Because there were 13 people attending the Last Supper. In Victorian times, they would never have 13 people around a table, ever. 13 to supper was considered extremely unlucky.
Wow.
So, yeah, Friday the 13th, quite a recent one, actually, but now universally held, I'd say. Very, very strange. Rosie says, yep, hotels don't have a 13th floor.
They don't.
Dutch Barracuda was born on Friday the 13th of December. Oops. Could your mum have held you in a bit longer? Poor thing. Rating Hyperion says, yeah, when I buy new shoes, they never go on the furniture.
No.
Rosie said, it's considered bad luck to give a wallet or purse without at least $1 in it. In Japanese and Central Eastern culture, Crumpet says 13 is actually not bad luck. Specifically for Japan, 4 and 9 are considered unlucky due to the linguistic closeness to the word death. Shin, I believe is the word. Yeah, very interesting, Crumpets. Leo says a friend of mine sleeps with rock salt along her windows to keep demons away. She's fairly religious. Yeah.
Salt is
salt over the shoulder.
Yeah, salt over the shoulder. A salt circle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's to hit the devil in the eye, of course. You've heard that
Wicca,
one.
Yeah. In the Wicca religion.
Pegasus says if somebody gives you a knife, you should give them back a coin. Kiltia says in Japan the number 4 can be treated in the same way as 13. Yeah, she. Yeah. Interesting stuff.
Dutch Barracuda was 3 weeks late already. So no, she couldn't hold him in any longer, or her in her.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, happy birthday for Friday the 13th. Okay. That's interesting. It's nice to hear a few from different cultures as well, so well done. I think
really
it's
good.
So surprising how these differ from region to region. Even there are different superstitions in Birmingham as there are in Manchester and London.
Yeah.
It all differs, doesn't it? It's very much about the place sometimes as well. What they call the genius loci, the spirits of a place, can affect those kind of certain beliefs. You know. Right, okay, should we have a look at some art therapy then, guys?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm looking
let's
forward
do
to this.
it. Oh god, it could go
This is
horribly
something
wrong.
This is something new, isn't it? And why would it go wrong? You're a brilliant artist, don't.
Okay. Right. Roxy, have you got the product camera up at all?
Certainly have.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to come up on stream actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's up already.
You've got to do that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay there. Right, here we go. There we go. Just waiting for that to appear, guys. Right, so what you can see in front of you then is very much tying into our woodsy, druidic theme of the night. It's a simple way to decorate a notebook. Now, don't be intimidated. This is really, really easy, and I'm going to teach you how to do it in less than 3 minutes. Stream's still up, yeah? I can't see it.
Probably on the internet.
Right. So, is everybody ready to be taught an art lesson?
Yes. I am ready.
Okay. Well, this method, it comes from medieval manuscripts. And it begins like this. So first of all, you want to take note of the space that you're drawing in. And you want to divide it with a rough S shape like this. Okay? So any shape will do, but a curved shape like that is probably the best place to start. Now, we'll look at your drawing and identify areas of white space and try to divide them. Okay? So this space, I've just divided that like that. See that? Okay. Now that is the basis of a decoration. This would be common to all the monks at Lindisfarne, to manuscript decorators, etc. And it's a great way, particularly if you're doing an illustration, to very, very quickly fill an area of space. And now what you do is you just keep looking for those areas of white space. Making note, of course, that plants often, they tend to grow like this. So they tend to sort of very softly emerge from these curves. Whenever you can see an area of white space. See how I'm doing that? How I'm just dividing that. Now this works for any size of space and any shape. But the same principles apply. You would simply divide it in half with an S-curve. Okay, so we're getting close now to what resembles a really nice organic looking shape. Now I know somebody who uses this method quite a lot, prolifically in fact. Can you think of who he is, Lucy? I'll give you a clue. You're wearing his top tonight.
William Morris.
William Morris, absolutely. So all I'm doing now is I'm just looking for these areas of white space in this illustration and adding a twig or a growth, wherever feels natural. Okay? So already getting something quite nice together now. And we're almost there. Believe it or not, this is almost complete. So now, at the end of each little branch, you draw a leaf. And this is as simple as drawing a little mound shape. You can use any shaped leaf though, so don't feel limited. But I'm going to use this one for simplicity. Is everybody still with me?
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. And you know what? This is such a soothing and therapeutic means of spending 5 minutes. Even if you're chatting on the phone, maybe you're running a session, you're narrating a session, you're listening to a book, listening to some television. You can easily do this and create something that's very, very beautiful in a very short amount of time. Now I'm going in, I'm just adding a little bit more detail here and there where I feel that it's necessary. Again, looking for those areas of white space.
Well, that looks really good already.
Yeah, it's lovely. So if you wanted to improve this, you could just maybe add a little bit more detail to the leaves, like so. Or something else that you can do is you can go in with a felt tip pen, or
I guess you could even use paint, couldn't you?
yes, absolutely. And that brings me to a video where I would love to show you the one that I made earlier, in fact. So why don't we play that video and I'll see if I can get this finished within the next 30 seconds. It's only 30 seconds long, so just demonstrate one that's that I painted, in fact.
Yep. Video's ready.
Okay. Mm. So that's enough. Microphone back on?
Yep, we're all back.
Yeah, so that is one that I created earlier with just a little bit of acrylic paint and some brushes, and I added a few details in at the end. I added some berries. Very, very simple to do, just a cluster of dots will do it, you know. You can go as detailed as you like. Is the product camera on, Roxy? Yeah?
Product camera's on, yeah?
Yeah, fantastic. So the same principles apply with a design like this. See how I've divided it with that initial shape. You see that, Lucy? Yeah?
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way you've gone
Right.
more round there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could do that, couldn't you? You could just put
Most
more
definitely.
flourishes, or you could have it straighter.
Yeah. Or, you know, you could go really simple, sort of Sylvan elf style design. Keep it simple. It's a sort of work that maybe Tolkien would have illustrated himself.
Yeah.
But this is a founding principle that I use in a lot of my work. Space filling as you know, a nice means of aesthetic garnish. And that's the final one, with that lovely sea green acrylic paint and a few little clusters of berries. And hopefully you're all able to follow that. So just to recap, you start with your one single curve that divides your space in two. And then from there, you just want to look at those areas of white space and add another little branch here and there and keep on filling that white space. If you try this method, let us know and show us a picture. I would be absolutely thrilled to see the results.
I'd love to see
Go
that.
as complex or as simple as you like. Okay? And that is that.
A masterclass.
Well, you know what? Sometimes we all just need a little bit of therapy, and it beats scribbling, actually, particularly in a session. You feel like you've achieved something when you draw one of those, and your friends will think you're super, super clever as well. It's a good one to teach the younglings as well. Okay. It's 24 minutes past 7 already. Is it time for our puzzle, do you think?
I think so.
Okay. Well, Roxy, if you would do the honours and get up the riddle then, please. Yeah, everybody seemed to really like the art lesson.
Good.
Max is going to try it on their day off. Dutch Barracuda says, got a bit of a fractal thing going there. Yeah, yeah. Interesting how this was devised by the medieval monks as well. Okay. Now this week, we've got a riddle.
Ooh. Is it on?
Is it on? Yeah. Oh God, there's such a massive delay tonight on this stream. Right, okay. Oh, there we go. Now it's
At
up.
last.
Yeah, okay. This puzzle is called a marvellous transmogrification. And what you'll need to do, there are 3 things contained in this riddle.
What's a transmogrification?
It's a transformation.
Right.
So this riddle asks you, or your players, feel free to include this in your game, to work on transforming. You begin with a beast.
Okay.
Take one letter from this beast and you will find a greater beast is left behind. I wonder, you will cry, but say, I have not finished my display. For take one letter from this beast, and then you'll find no longer 1, but 10. Name my 3 parts.
Okay, so there's 3 sections to this, okay?
Yes, so you'll start with one beast, and then you'll transform it into another beast, and then at the very end you'll be left with 10. There is only one answer to this puzzle.
Oh, so there's not 3 answers then?
Well, yes, there's 3 answers, but there's only one method to do it.
Right.
So you're looking for that first beast, that's your starting point.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what you're trying to do then is take away one letter from that animal's name, and you'll be left with another animal.
Okay.
A greater beast. That's a clue.
A greater beast.
Yep, and then you take that final letter away from the greater beast and you'll be left with 10.
This is tricky, I'll be honest.
Yeah, now we are playing for a prize here, guys. We are playing for 10 English. 10 GBP sterling here in the form of GameTea gift voucher. Dr. Braille says I only got the first one so far.
But surely if you've got the first one...
Yeah, surely if you've got the first
then
one...
you've got all three
Yes.
parts.
Yeah. Dutch Barracuda. Wait, fantasy or real? Well, I'm going to give you a massive clue here. It's real. Okay? It's a real beast. It is a real animal that exists. In fact, both are. So you're not looking for any fantastical beasts or any mysterious creatures. By the way, did you see the trailer for Fantastic Beasts? No.
No, haven't. No. Does it look good?
It looks like there's a lot of people in it. And the poster has 11 actors and actresses on it. So I think it's going to be a plot-packed story again.
We've got somebody that thinks they've figured it.
Oh, it's Crumpets! Okay, well, if you've got the answer, drop it in the chat. But be careful, because you know what tends to happen. That is not correct, I'm afraid, Crumpets. It's a bloody good guess, though.
That is good. I can see what you've done there.
Yeah. So what we're looking for here is when you get the name of that first beast and take away a letter.
See, the problem with getting the first beast is it could be a lot of beasts.
Okay.
It could be
Is that-
many. I
is
mean,
that
I've gone
you-
through lion, tiger,
Right. So,
bear.
for example, if you started
Horse,
with
dog.
the word bear, then you would take one letter from
Yes.
that and be left with the word ear, for
Correct.
example. So that's
Yes.
how it works.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys need an intelligence check? Do you need a clue?
Maybe, but not quite yet. Maybe the 10. Maybe the last bit is a bit of a clue because it says you'll find no longer one but 10. So maybe you're left with 10 from the word. So maybe the starting beast has TEN in it somewhere. That's what I'm thinking.
Possibly, but maybe think of other ways to express 10. So there are Arabic numerals, there are also Roman numerals.
Right. So you're left with X then.
Yeah.
So what
you
animal
are.
has an X in
Yes.
it?
Okay, come on, Lucy. Lucy's going to win the gift voucher.
Yes!
Come on, guys. Lucy's given you the massive clue. The only clue that you need, really. Because if the last thing is X, it's 10, so you're looking for an X, then the beast that's above it can only have 2 letters in its name, and the beast above that, you got it, Roxy. Yeah, the beast above that can only have 3 letters in its name, and they all need X in their names. So, first one to get it is going to win £10. Fiery Ali.
I still don't know it. An
Dr.
axe,
Brails.
an X.
Come on. Fiery Ali has got it.
Yeah!
Oh, Dr. Brails, you had it, but I'm afraid you were pipped at the post. Congratulations, Fiery Ali.
Fiery Ali.
Well done. That's a really, really tough puzzle. Not easy.
I still couldn't get it.
No, not easy to get at all, but you got the 10.
Well, I didn't really.
You helped me. As soon as you said
Roxy
X,
got it.
I was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. 'Cause
You helped
there's
me
not
get the
many
10.
beasts that are real that have X in the name, so and have 3 letters and 2 letters in their names, respectively. So well done, Fiery Ali. We'll be sending you a gift voucher via the Twitch messaging system. So make sure your messages are open, and congratulations once again.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Well done.
Yeah, you almost had it.
Not really. No.
Yeah.
Almost. I got one letter.
So we did actually have a new emote this week, didn't we?
Yeah.
But unfortunately it didn't get approved in time.
It's still pending.
Yeah, but we had a Gongbin emote,
Yeah, it was really
all
cool.
prepared. Thank you, art by Max P. So we're
Thanks,
going to
Max.
immortalise the Gongbins in emote form. Now, if you can think of any other type of emote that you would like to see on the stream, by all means let us know. I think we should have tadpole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tadpole, yeah.
Yeah. Tadpole, of course, a creation from...
Maybe Pixie.
Oh, yes, that's a great one. Yeah, fantastic. A teacup, yes.
A
Rosa, that's
teacup.
fantastic. That's a great idea.
That has to happen. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Grumbit says
Obvious.
the first emote will take a little while. Yeah, probably. H, I think your hat deserves an emote. I love this hat. It's my favourite.
It's a
It's got my
lovely hat.
initials in it. Right, okay. Is it time to go through some of our favourite products related to druidry, wood, oak trees, trees in general, the myths and lore behind trees? Because I know we've got some here.
And
But
do bear in mind though, it is World Book Day tomorrow.
Ah, fantastic.
So actually, I've got a surprise question for you. Because you always ask me questions, so I've got a question for you that you weren't expecting.
I'm ready for the interrogation.
Although I think I probably know the answer already.
Go on then.
Well, quite simply, what is your favourite book or author?
Tough question.
It's obviously for the chat as well.
Yeah, chat, we want to hear your responses.
I narrowed it down to author because I thought, well, there's just so many books that are just so amazing. So you can have book or author.
Okay, recently, I'm going to have to split it into three because there are just too many. I'm a huge reader.
Top three.
I'm an avid
I'll
reader.
allow top three.
Okay, recent Hilary Mantel with the Wolf Hall trilogy. The Life of Thomas Cromwell. The BBC made a series of it. Many of you have probably seen it. But the books are out of this world. They're written like poetry. And I did not realise how close I'd become to Thomas Cromwell, who was a real historical figure. He was a servant of Henry VIII, of course, a dangerous man, you know, a ruthless leader to be the servant of. And Thomas comes from the most wretched poverty. His story is real. The most wretched poverty in Putney, being beaten half to death by his father, raised up to one of the most powerful men in England, if not almost on the level
Fascinating.
of his prince, a
Amazing.
Machiavellian man. And of course, his end is predetermined by history. But when you reach that end, I was moved.
Second.
Going further back, C.S. Forester, Hornblower series. Love nautical fiction. Live for it. Hornblower, wonderful series of books. They were Winston Churchill's favourite books as well. And I often think that without Hornblower's leadership, I don't think we would have gotten through World War II.
It's possible.
It's astounding, actually, when you read the books, how great a leader Hornblower is. He's a flawed man, which makes him interesting. And also, interesting fact, Jean-Luc Picard from, of course, Star Trek. Again, one of the greatest sci-fi characters ever to be written, based on Hornblower. So if you've never read Hornblower and you're a fan of Jean-Luc Picard, that's a little recommendation for you. And then probably another historical one, Patrick O'Brien with, of course, the Aubrey Maturin series, Master and Commander.
That's
my favourite
not what
film.
I thought you were going to say.
My
I thought you
favourite
were going to
film.
say Jane Austen, actually.
Yeah,
so.
she's fantastic as well. Okay, but Patrick O'Brien is kind of like Jane Austen of the seas. So, yeah, actually, we'll go Jane Austen. Yeah. With my favourite book of hers being Persuasion. Go ahead, chat. What do you think?
What have chat come up with? Hornblower?
Okay. The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. Definitive, Kiltia. Absolutely definitive. I remember being quite disturbed the first time I read it. Angela Carter gives a feminist perspective to some ancient fairy tales. But I think she brings them back to their origin, their frightening origin. You know, things like Red Riding Hood, for example.
One of my favourites.
They were very cautionary tales. They were designed to keep young girls away from strange men in the forest. And Angela Carter goes right back to the raw essence of those stories. Great choice, Kiltia.
I'll have to check that one out. I really like the sound of that.
Dr. Breas says Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Good one.
Just part of like that human experience, isn't it? Sherlock Holmes. Rating Hyperion. Last book I read was a World of Warcraft book. Such deep lore. Brilliant. Maxie says, I'm Star Trek man. I'm back Star Trek man. Not sure what book that's referring to, Hayley. And Rating Hyperion says, the last book I read actually was by Mo on the way back from the last Scotland Kupo Con. It's probably the Nibelheim incident. Fantastic. Mo's a great author. Independent author, does a lot in the area of myths and legends, so they're really, really interesting. Go on then, what are your favourites?
Oh, well, for me it has to be Tolkien, or really most things by Stephen King. I think he is just a genius of our time. The Shining, Misery.
His sci-fi work, The Jaunt, is a story that
you
love that story. I was telling Max about that story the other day.
It's brilliant. I mean, I still think about it to this day and reread it. I've read it many times.
Can you give everybody a synopsis of The Jaunt if they haven't read it? It's only a short story, isn't it?
It's just a short story. I think is it Skeleton Crew? I forget which book it's in. I'm pretty sure it's Skeleton Crew. It's a compilation of stories, and basically they've devised a way to travel great distances through the universe, and the only way they can do that is by giving a general anaesthetic, or I think it was something like that.
A sedative pill or something like that. Yeah.
So you became unconscious, then you could go through this machine and appear the other side of the universe.
Yes, because they'd figured out that whenever they sent a sentient being through, it came out the other side. Pixie's seen a fox. How ironic.
She's seen a beast.
She's seen a beast.
Whenever they sent a sentient conscious being through, it would come through the other side ruined.
Yes. So they tried it with mice first, and they go through conscious, and they would come out dead.
Yes.
The only way they could pass them through it was to knock them out first. Then they would pass through, and they would wake up, and they would be fine. So inevitably they were. I think it followed a family, didn't it? And they went through.
Little boy going on vacation.
The little boy was. Did he pretend that he'd?
Yeah, I think so.
Become sedated and didn't swallow the pill.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, it's been a while since I read it. And well, he ended up travelling time in his mind for, I guess, millions of years.
Yes.
And came out the other side, which was for us was a split second. For him was millions of years.
An eternity. His hair was white.
Yes. And he was just gone.
Goodness knows what encounters with eldritch cosmic horrors he'd had along the way.
I mean,
but you know, that became really relevant this week, because I read an article that said they're going to devise a drug that means if you get a prison sentence, you can take the drug, your experience of time will be changed when you take that drug. So you will have sat in prison for a couple of weeks, but you will have experienced a life sentence.
Wow.
Your perception of time will be elastic.
Really? Is this a true thing?
This is what they're working on.
That is scary.
So you could potentially face a 1,000-year sentence, or a 10,000-year sentence.
Well, then you would come out like that boy, completely gone.
And when I read that article, it reminded me of Stephen King.
Well, check it out. It's called The Jaunt by Stephen King. It's brilliant.
We've got some favourite books. Dr. Breos says the strangest book I read thus far was Peter Pan. It's a weirdness on a similar level to Alice in Wonderland. Well, yeah, Peter Pan, Pan is a figure of not mischief, Pan is a god. And if Peter is this, if he's modelled in any way after Pan, the Song of the Forest, the goat-footed Pan.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, he history behind Peter Pan, actually.
Yeah.
So
Well, think
maybe
about it.
he
Peter
is.
Pan cuts off Captain Hook's hand and feeds it to a crocodile. I mean, that's not very nice.
No.
To say the least, is it? Hager says my favourite book right now is The Martian.
Yeah,
Potatoes.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Potato growth. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that was the surprise question then. We've had a nice little discussion about books. And horrors. Wonderful.
Extremely horrific horrors.
That is what we like to talk about. This is quite a typical conversation for us, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we have a look at some products? And the first product, in fact, I don't need the product camera on because it's so huge. Is the product camera on or?
No, it's only back on.
Ah, fantastic. Yeah. So, brand new into stock this week, actually. Oh no, we did have a small trial amount.
We had a small trial amount.
Has anybody ever seen Jumanji? This is what this box reminds me of. Yeah, we've got our Grand Oak box. A really fantastic box for all your gaming needs. And one of our current favourites. It is so cavernously huge that you can fit an entire session into this box. And that's what people do.
So you'd have your notebooks, even your minis would go in there.
Everything.
Dice.
Yeah. And it's beautifully hand carved. And the reason I've chosen to feature it this week, actually, I don't know if you can see the size of that, chat. But it's beautifully adorned with oak leaves as well. So if you are playing a druid, a ranger, or even if you're a DM with a kind of a natural botanical focus to your campaign, really, really nice one. Nice gift. Oak as well, of course, a very powerful pagan symbol, isn't it?
It's been held in high esteem for thousands of years. Actually, you've got the Romans, the Celts, Greeks. You know, really, since time began, I guess. It's been, the Druids worshipped the oak.
They did. The first temples were the first temples were groves. They were oak groves.
Absolutely, that's where they would do their rituals.
Yeah. And also it has an extremely distinct taste. Oak does. Did you know that?
I've never eaten oak, but I do know that for thousands of years you can eat acorns, and man and animals alike have eaten acorns for thousands of years.
You've drunk oak though, haven't you?
I don't know, have I?
Wine and whiskey. They're matured in oak barrels.
Not. I mean, it's been infused.
Yeah, absolutely. So they use.
But then I guess some of it must have gone into the liquid.
Most certainly, yes.
Yeah.
Used as coffee by people in situations where they cannot obtain coffee. So that would be me in any. In any situation where I was unable to reach an espresso machine,
you'd be chopping down an oak tree,
I'd be grinding up those acorns, girl. They would be gone.
Symbolic of strength, wisdom. The roots of an oak tree go deep into the ground.
They do.
Considered strong and powerful, very wise.
Yeah.
Of course, these days you have the tree of life. The little, you often see it in jewellery.
Oh, yes.
The circle of life.
Yeah, it is a symbol of strength because it can withstand virtually any onslaught from the might of the elements. So any wind, lightning, even the oak can withstand. Torrential downpours, nothing for the oak. It's so broad. And it's not only the symbol of England, it's also the symbol of Germany, the national symbol of both of those places. So quite incredible, really. The symbol of the oak. So the Grand Oak box, a wonderful, wonderful piece of work that is hand carved completely. And if you do align with any of those symbols, so you want to bring strength into your life, or maybe into your campaign, or have something inspirational every time you open your gaming box, this is a wonderful, wonderful product.
It really is truly a work of art.
So
solid. Just so tactile as well.
Yeah, it really, truly is so
gorgeous.
Okay, now Roxy, you can put the product camera on. Yes, please. Yeah, okay, wonderful.
Yes, talking of books.
I thought I'd mention And talking, of course, of oaks, we've got perhaps my favourite book that we sell on
It's a firm
the website.
favourite. Mm-hmm.
Not only is it by one of my favourite authors, it's also by one of my favourite illustrators, Joe Lydon. Now, if you haven't had a look at this book, of course, it's the foliate face. It features the most wonderful woodblock illustrations. And this book is called A Treasury of British Folklore. So the folklore that it goes into is primarily, I would say, it's primarily British. There's a little sort of Proto-Indo-European, but there's Stonehenge, of course, beautifully illustrated.
Oh, the mandrake.
Oh, mandrake.
We love mandrakes.
Oh, my child, my angry little turnip children, I love them. Yes, and guess what? Joe Lydon, he illustrated the recent Hornblower series.
There's a little golem goblin type
if
thing.
you haven't picked up this book, guys, Dee Dee Cheney, she runs a wonderful blog called
Green Man, look.
oh yes, wonderful, called Folklore Thursdays, and it's so well resourced. Look at these citations, and that's really what you want. A quick reference book where you can just go straight into the months and think, right, okay, what's happening? We of course go to Tissington for the well dressings, don't we?
We do.
So that's also featured in this book. But yeah, and if you're
a corn dolly.
No,
last year I bought you 2 corn dollies.
And I had an abundant harvest.
Yes, to give you luck with your harvest.
Yeah, and you know what? I was speaking to Mum about it, and she said she had 5 corn dollies for each of her 5 children, which I didn't know, but yeah.
Yes, we had them up in the kitchen.
We are the children of the corn.
I like that though.
Yeah, if you haven't checked this book out, it's World Book Day tomorrow. Can't recommend it enough. A Treasury of British Folklore, Maypoles, Mandrakes and Mistletoe. A great starting
She also does
point.
the Season Rivers and the werewolves and other beasts.
Wild Gods.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, most wonderful.
Lots of our viewers probably already have this book.
And of course there is the Green Man, aka the Foliate Face. And the reason I call him the Foliate Face is because he wasn't known as the Green Man until really recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently so. And finally, let me just get this into focus because this is a slightly smaller product. There we go. So, sorry about my dirty nails. It's not dirt, it's paint actually. Unsurprisingly. So this is the Coin of Feast and Famine from our project, Coins of Wonder. And what it represents is plenty and blight. So on one side you've got the face of the Green Man. That is a powerful symbol of fertility. It's most often found on churches. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Do you know why?
No.
Because the pagan beliefs were taken into the Christian beliefs, weren't they? They were subsumed into one another, particularly in this country. So yes, you'll find the vision of the Green Man all over Britain. It's a popular name for a pub as well. But this coin, what it is really for, it's to tell stories in your game. So do you see one side represents fertility, you've got the strength of the oak, you've got the burgeoning acorns, you've got the symbol of life and prosperity. And the other side, you've got the skull, the moth, the consuming moth that brings forth withering. And the acorn man, of course, flourishes and brings fecundity and abundance. So the way that you would use this in game is that if you bury this side, then the land within a 300 feet radius in your game is made fertile and abundant.
Yes.
But if you bury the other side,
so you could go into a village,
you cause pestilence,
and you could
blight,
curse the village with it.
Starvation, famine, could work for enemy territories.
Yes.
Work in any number of ways. That's just our suggested rule sets. By the way, if you haven't, go ahead and download them because they're completely free. So navigate to the website and download, pop in Coins of Wonder, download the rule sets, start playing with them. Even if you don't own the coins, you can still incorporate these rules into your game.
You
They're
can.
excellent.
Yes.
So yeah, really nice way to bring those ideas of fertility and the eternal cycle into your game.
You know the little leather keyring that I designed for the talismans?
Yes.
Actually, the coin fits in those as well, which
Yes, it does.
I don't think I've ever mentioned that or advertised that fact. But they're exactly the same size on purpose, so that they can fit in there as well.
That is a bit of a GameTea hack, isn't it? That
Yes.
one. Yes. Okay. Well, we've got one more thing to go through tonight, haven't we? Because we are revealing a T-shirt design.
Yes. How exciting!
I know, right? Is everybody ready to vote on our T-shirt reveal?
Now this is. I mean, AJ, you've outdone yourself here.
Oh, thank you.
You wait till you see it, guys. It is so good.
You can probably guess which game I've been playing.
It's not available yet. Obviously, we need to decide on the colours, and you're going to help us do that now.
Yes, absolutely. So this is my knight and steed design. Parchment, I think, is the colour that we've definitely decided the T-shirt is going to be. That is the colour that shows up the illustration at its strongest, I think.
So really, it's a case of, do we want the sort of the dark brown ink, or do we want the black ink?
I know what I prefer.
I know what I prefer, but I don't want to sway people.
By the way, I hope you all like it, guys. It was a lot of hard work, actually, getting that dynamism of the horse just right, and depicting a knight from that angle as well, because you often see them from the side and you often see them from the front, but you rarely see them at that back 3/4 angle, you know. But I just wanted to do something a little bit different.
It's the same when I'm 3D modelling. It's capturing the dynamism as well.
Yes,
and you've done that beautifully, AJ. And yeah, it's stunning.
Who doesn't love a dark knight? About to slay some.
So how should we do? Should we put a Twitter poll out or something?
Yes, I think that would be a very good idea.
Do you think so? After the stream,
or alternatively, we can just ask for some 1s and 2s in chat.
Okay, let's do that. So let's say 1 is the brown ink.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get a feel then from chat about what folks prefer.
Can you?
Oh, okay.
Leo.
Leo or Sky? If you know how to put an actual poll in the chat.
That's so good.
Leo's done it. Wow, that deserves a gong.
Fantastic.
Well done, Leo.
They are amazing. Thank you, Leo. I can't see chat at all. I'm afraid my internet's gone completely.
I think your computer works better this
Yeah,
side.
I think it absolutely
Do you
does.
want to pass it over?
Yeah, okay, I'll pass it.
Definitely more the black spot that side.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. What's everybody thinking? Are they thinking brown or are they thinking black?
60-40 in favour of brown.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, guys. I'm
glad, because that was my favourite.
That was my feeling. The black is lovely. It's just a little bit too strong.
Yeah, we're not seeing this. It's not good.
I think dark brown might have won because it's turned green and was a little.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
Okay, then, fantastic.
Some people weren't able to vote because it said the poll had ended. So
Oh, maybe.
only 10 people were able to vote.
Right.
Right, open
Okay.
it back up again, or
Yeah. Mind you, we've only got a couple of minutes left on the stream. I think we'll go with brown. I think that's the general mood. But
let's make a note of that. Brown tick.
well done, everybody. Do they get a consulting fee? Okay.
Probably about 2 weeks for that to appear on the website. We'll tell you when it's up.
Yep. I hope you love it. Okay, we're coming to
yeah,
the end of
be
the
a nice
stream now, aren't we? So why don't we then have a brief Q&A what does everybody think of Elden Ring? I guess would be the first question. If we can get chat up so I can read the responses, that would be great.
I think Roxy might have to read it out to us, potentially.
That's it.
Update you.
Yeah.
Because
I assume most people have been playing it.
AJ's Mac is not
No.
doing very
Computer
well.
definitely says negatory.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and if you've got any last minute questions that you want to ask us, then most definitely go ahead, guys. We're here and we are listening. And we hope you're all well as well, because as we say, this has not been a very easy week for people, has it?
No. Hopefully this has distracted us all for a small amount of time.
I feel much better. Anyway.
Do you have any questions,
No, not yet.
Roxy?
Any verdicts on Elden Ring yet?
Can I have Pixie?
Oh, yes.
Because I like to have Pixie on at the end of the stream.
Just try and press it again, maybe?
Pixie's just having a little drink.
Okay.
Pixie's having a drink.
Yes, bring the dog, Blin.
At least she's not asleep this evening.
Aww.
Hello.
Yes.
Did you see some foxes?
Yes, she did. Or she thought she did, anyway. She's very, very good at that.
She's a good girl, aren't
Chihuahuas
you?
are a superior form of guard dog, actually. They're one of the best guard dogs that you can possibly own. They certainly
She's
do
so
a good
sweet.
job of barking, don't they?
Dr. Players hasn't played it yet.
No.
No.
Mithril Sage, Elden Ring is gorgeous and I love the vibes, but I know I wouldn't like it on account of being terrible at the FromSoft games.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit I get a lot of enjoyment from watching playthroughs. And I do love Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne, but I'm not very good at them.
No.
I think they are just a particular type of games that attract a particular type of player. And when I do play games, I like to relax and enjoy them. And some of the games I play don't have a winning condition at all. So that's what attracts me to a game. Things like Roller Coaster Tycoon, for example. SimCity, there is no ultimate win. So.
Pixie's getting lots of dog blin love.
Aww.
Dutch Cuda said, how often do you scout out more artists and creators for the shop, or do you prefer to keep it in-house these days?
I guess it's not something that we actively do, but I guess if we were approached by somebody, then we would, consider
we're
it.
always welcome and open to portfolios.
Yeah.
Over the past 2 years, of course, it's been difficult to meet artists face to face, which is something that we usually do. We will usually approach artists at conventions and artist alleys
we make
and shows.
connections, don't we, at shows and stuff like that.
That is where we find a lot of our featured artists and commission a lot of our artists as well. We did have the good fortune to be able to work with Micah this year, who is not an artist but an excellent writer. And Micah is responsible for our adventure modules. And again, Micah was somebody who I first encountered through a convention.
Was it CooperCon?
Yes, it was, absolutely. So Micah is the author of a few books concerning Final Fantasy and his adventures, which we co-authored. Well, we love them. So we're very, very proud of them. So if you are playing them, you have downloaded them, then I really, really hope you enjoy them, because we enjoyed writing them. But if you do have your portfolio, by all means, send it in.
Yeah.
Would absolutely love to look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we do have a small budget to commission artists. We're not the biggest company in the world, let's face it, but we are always economically fair to our artists. We do not believe in economic abuse of artists, so everybody's paid properly.
Fairly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Rosie joined the stream a short time ago, my niece.
Hi, Rosie.
Hi, Rosie.
She's struggling with her essay for uni.
Oh dear.
Oh,
She was a bit late.
Oh dear.
poor thing.
You'll get there.
Yeah, just persevere. And if you're really, really struggling on sort of the language to use in academia, then it can be useful to watch lectures. To actually watch lectures on YouTube, make notes, and consider carefully the type of language that academics are using in those circles, and then try to incorporate a little bit of that into your phraseology when you're writing your own
You'll
essays.
get there.
Yeah,
I've got
it's
every
hard work.
confidence
It is
to
tough.
train to be a nurse.
Yeah, it's tough work. But we need our nurses.
We do.
So, well done, Rosie. Keep up the endeavour.
Dutch Barracuda said, when are you looking at going to shows and cons?
Ah, well,
June.
yes, June. Is it?
UK Games
It's
Expo?
the Jubilee weekend.
It is, yeah.
So we'll miss out on all of that. We'll be at the UK
I was
Games
looking
Expo.
forward to that so much.
I was looking forward to cake and.
Do you know what? I'm
tea
gonna
and-
wear a crown at Games Expo. Nobody's gonna stop me.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, I'll be celebrating. We're celebrating at Games Expo. So yeah, come and spend your jubilee with us at Games Expo. Be most pleased to welcome you as well.
And it's at the NEC, isn't it?
At the
Yes,
NEC
it's at the
in
NEC,
Birmingham.
and it's the country's largest tabletop convention.
It's really good. If you've never
It's
been, I
amazing.
can highly recommend.
If you like,
It's a brilliant day out.
you know, the main publishers are there, but also the independents are there, and they run the gamut of all different types of games and goods. So
There's
wonderful
something
experience.
for everyone.
Yes,
if you're
there
into
is.
games,
Yes.
it's brilliant.
Yes, there is. There is.
Okay,
Right.
well, I guess that's time to wrap up the stream then.
Yeah, I think
Is
so.
that it, Rox? Any more
Yeah,
questions, or are we done?
House now? No.
All right. Well, it was lovely to spend some time with you guys again.
Thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it.
We really do.
And you, thank you so much for the support on our stream. Like I say, look after yourselves and take care and make time for some self-care if you need it.
Very important.
Okay, so we will see you next week. Same game time, same tea place. All right. Good night.
Bye.
See you later.